Salvete! Hello, Latin learners. Welcome to another video. I'm Stephen. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, we are going to finally launch into the past. We've done a lot of work on conjugating present tense verbs. 4 different conjugations. We started with are, then ere, then ere, third conjugation, then ire, fourth conjugation. So we've done them all. Now it's time to start expressing ourselves in the past, okay? Which is actually fairly easy to do. Let us first just do a little bit of revision and let us go full circle right back to where we started all the way in Unit 1. And if you've been following these videos since then, first of all, thank you. I hope you found them useful and congratulations on getting this far. We started off by saying that the first group of verbs, the first conjugation as we call it, in the infinitive form, these verbs end in are, A-R-E. And we always use the verb amare as our starting point, or at least I do. Amare means to love. Amare. All right, that's the infinitive. On its own, you can't really do much with that. We have to change the endings. We conjugate them to match them up with the different persons. The different possible subjects doing the verb. So we take off the are, it gives us am, you'll remember, and then we add the personal endings. Amo, I love. Amas, you love, singular. Amat, he or she or it. Amamos, we. Amatis, you, plural. And they, amant. Let's just repeat that. I know you know it off by heart, inside out, in your sleep, but let's just do it anyway. So, amo, amas, amat. Amamos, amatis, amant. Amo, amas, amat. Amamos, amatis, amant. One last time. Amo, amas, amat. Amamos, amatis, amant. Right, give me some other first conjugation verbs then, guys. Come on, throw them at me in the infinitive form with are. Hurl them my way. We've had amare. What about greeting with a kind of salutation, a salute? Salutare, well done if you remembered it. What about calling? Calling begins with a V. Vocare or vocare. Amare, salutare, vocare, working or labouring. Laborare, bit of a mouthful that one. Laborare, so it would be laboro, laboras, laborat, etc. What about fighting? If this is your pugnus, don't be pugnacious. Alright, no fighting during Latin lessons, you'll get booted out. Pugnare, pugno, pugnas, pugnat. The gladiator fights, gladiator pugnat. We do not fight. Non pugnamus, okay? Never, we never fight. Numquam pugnamus. We're far too civilized, right? Numquam pugnamus. What else have I got here? What about to prepare? Like preparing the dinner, the cana. Parare. Parare. Another P verb, to be the porter and to carry something. Portare. I carry porto. I carry the book, Librum, porto. All right. Porto, portas, portat. Portamus, portatis, portant. We had pugnare, to fight. Can you remember the verb to defeat or overcome? It's like you are superior. Superare. Well done. Superare. Supero, superas, superat. Superamus, superatis, superant. So I think those are the few that I listed here. Of course, we've covered a lot more, but I can't remember them all off the top of my head. So those are a selection of are verbs. We'll use some of those today because we're just going to stick to first conjugation are verbs. Let's just go back to our amo, to love. So we had amo, amas, amad. Amamos, amatis, amant. Right, present tense. Let us now switch to the perfect tense. The perfect tense, perfect comes from another Latin word, perficio, perfectum, which means to complete or finish. Perfect is that which has been finished or completed. And that helps us out because the perfect tense in Latin means a completed action in the past. And I would suggest it's probably the most common past tense in Latin. There are some other tenses we'll cover in due course. But if you're just saying, you did something, we went there, I saw that person, he greeted me, we drank the wine, they prepared the dinner, he walked into the garden, any kind of activity that's just, it happened, it's been and gone, be it this morning, yesterday, 3 years ago, doesn't matter, we're going to use the perfect tense. So it does the job of what we would call in English just the past or preterite. I went, I saw, I did. It is that. It also does the job of what in English grammar is called the present perfect, which is I have done, I have seen, I have been, I have gone, which is, I suppose, looking at things more from the point of view of the present. But in Latin, we just have one form, the perfect tense, which can translate both of those, or can be used to express both of those, obviously context depending. And it all fits in one word. So if we go back to amare and take off the are, it gives us a stem am. This is how it goes. This should appear on the screen for you now, guys. And we'll keep the present tense on our left, and then on the right we'll have the perfect tense, and we can compare and contrast them. So I loved amawi with A-V-I. Remember the V's like a W sound. Amawi. You loved amawisti. Amawi, I loved. Amawisti, you loved. He, she, or it. Amawit. We. Amawimos. We've still got our mus. All right. You guys, you plural. Amawistis, you loved. Amawistis, you loved. And they loved amawerons. That's a funny one, isn't it? Amawerons. Though that combination of letters, werons, you're only ever going to see that as the perfect tense for the they form. So if you ever see something that with werons on the end, it's they did something, depending on what the verb actually means. So that identifies that one. Let's now do this together a good few times, guys. Amawi, amawisti, amawit. Amawimus, amawistis, amawerons. Amawi, amawisti, amawit. Amawimus, amawistis, amaweront. Amawi, amawisti, amawit. Amawimus, amawistis, amaweront. Again, amawi, amawisti, amawit. Amawimus, amawistis, amaweront. So the key thing is the V's. We've got the V all the way through. We wisti wit, wimus wistis, werunt. So that's the last one, the they form, third person plural. It's a bit weird, but equally it really stands out. So you'll probably remember that one just because it's a bit different, a bit longer. Amawerunt, they loved, they did the action. We wisti wit, wimus wistis werunt. We wisti wit, wimus wistis werunt. Amawi, amawisti, amawit. Amawimus, amawistis, amawerunt. So if we just look at present and then past, singular then plural, amo, amas, amat. Amawi, amawisti, amawit. Amamos, amatis, amant. Amawimus, amawistis, amawerunt. Amo, amawi. I love, I loved. Amas, you love. Amawisti. Amawisti. Amat, he, she, it loves. Amawit. Amamos, we. Amawimus, we loved. Amatis. Amawistis. Amant. Amawerunt. Past tense. Amawi, amawisti, amawit. Amawimus, amawistis, amawerunt. Right. The good news is you can take any are verb, or at least 99% of them, and they will follow the same pattern. Just as they did in the present with o, as, at, they're going to do with we wisti wit. Wimus wistis werunt. We wisti wit. Wimus wistis werunt. Okay, let's take salutare to greet. Salut, saluta, we saluta wisti, saluta wit. Saluta wimus, saluta wistis, saluta werunt. Again, guys. Saluta we, I greeted. Saluta wisti, you did. Saluta wit, ending V-I-T, vit, wit. I mean, if it's easier for you to pronounce it as a v, do so. Saluta wit, he, she greeted. Saluta wimus, saluta wistis, saluta werunt. Okay, let's go to portare, the porter carrying. Porta, we, porta wisti, porta wit. I carried, you carried, he, she carried. Porta wimus, porta wistis, porta werunt. Again, porta we, porta wisti, porta wit. Porta wimus, porta wistis, porta werunt. Laborare. So we're going to have labor as the stem, and then we're going to go to the AV. Laboravi. I worked. Laboravi. Laboravisti. Laborawit. Laborawimos. Laborawistis. Laborawerunt. They worked. One last time. Laborawi. Laborawisti. Laborawit. Laborawimus. Laborawistis. Laborawerunt. Awi. Awisti. Awit. Awimus. Awistis. Awerunt. Okay, so we've got the pattern. It's going to stay on the screen, so don't panic. Let's now, and that's all there is to it, by the way. You don't need to add any other words. So amawi is either I loved or I have loved, depending on what you're trying to say. But just that word in Latin does it, all right? So the master greeted the friend. Remember, friend is amicus, and here it will be accusative. The master greeted. So in the present tense it will be salutat, but it's going to be salutar vit, salutavit, because he, she, salutavit. Dominus amicum, accusative, salutavit. Dominus amicum salutavit. Or you can put the friend first as the accusative, amicum, dominus salutavit, because we know from the endings who's doing the action. Dominus amicum salutavit. Yeah. Let's do it first person. I greeted the boys. The boys, accusative. So the nominative will be pueri. Accusative, pueros. Pueros. Second declension masculine. I greeted. Salutavi, like amavi, salutavi, avi. Salutavi, ego salutavi, pueros. Pueros, salutavi. Pueros, salutavi. Pueros in we are salutavi. I greeted the boys in the street. Pueros in we are salutavi. We worked in the garden. Remember, hortus, horticulture. And in it is ablative. In horto, we worked in the garden. Laboravimus. Present will be laboramus. We are working, we work. But laboravimus. Push through that w. That's your kind of diving board into the past tense. The V's for the first conjugation. Yeah. We, wisti, wit, wimus, wistis, werunt. Wimus. Laboravimus. We worked. Laboravimus in horto. In horto, laboravimus. I'm going to give you a nice adverb we can use now. We learnt words such as hodie, today, and semper often. Always, saipes often. The word for yesterday, nice easy one, is heri. Heri. H-E-R-I. Heri. Heri. So we worked in the garden yesterday. Heri. In horto laboravimus. In horto heri laboravimus. In horto heri laboravimus. The gladiator fought in the arena using a pugnare. Now if it was present tense, of course it would be pugnat. Gladiator pugnat. He fights or is fighting. But he fought, and the action is done, it's over. Gladiator pugnavit, vit. Pugnavit in arena. Gladiator in arena pugnavit. Add the yesterday. Heri. Gladiator heri in arena pugnavit. Gladiator in arena heri pugnavit. Pushing through to the past with a wit. Okay, very well done. Let's go to superare. To overcome, be superior, to defeat. So he fought, the gladiator defeated the lion. And the lion is Leo. What's your accusative going to be? I'll give you a tip, it's going to get an N. Third declension. Leonem. Leonem. From Leo, nominative, Leonem. The gladiator defeated the lion in the arena. Gladiator, Leonem, in arena, superavit. Yeah, present will be superat. Supero, supera, superat. He, she defeats. Superavit. He or she defeated. It defeated. Superavit. gladiator, leonem, in arena superavit. Got a few more for you guys. Plural this time. The slaves worked in the kitchen, kulina. The slaves worked in the kitchen. So one slave, male, is servus in the plural nominative because they're doing the working. Servi with an I. Servi. Right, the slaves worked in the kitchen. Servi in kulina laboraverunt. Remember that one? Verunt, they did it. Servi laboraverunt. Servi, Harry, yesterday, in kulina laboraverunt. Servi in kulina laboraverunt. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But if you just keep practicing saying it, you'll break it down to it slowly, each syllable. Laboraverunt. And the where, it's a long E sound. And that's where the stress will go. So it's laboraverunt, always, with any third person plural, past tense verb. Laboraverunt. Servi laboraverunt. The slave girl, what's that one? Ancilla. Carried, using like the porter, carried the wine into the atrium. Into is just in plus accusative. Atrium. The slave girl carried the wine into the atrium. Ancilla vinum in atrium portavit. Portavit, A-V-I-T. Portat will just be she carries or is carrying, but portavit, she did it. Finished. Finito. Portavit. Ancilla vinum portavit. Ancilla vinum in culina, in culinam, or in atrium, I said, didn't I? Portavit. She carried it into the kitchen and then, or into the atrium, then it's finished. Talking to one person. You loved me. Maybe you don't anymore, but past tense, you loved me. So present would be amas, may, accusative. Remember that one, may? May amas. May amawisti. May amawisti. May amawisti. May amawisti. And I loved you. Et te. Don't put to, because that will be the subject, and I'm doing the loving, so you in this instance, the object, I'm talking to one person. Te amawi, with V-I. Me amawisti, you love me. Et te, and you. Ego te amawi. Te amawi. Me amawisti, to me amawisti. Et ego, I. Te, you, amawi. But they wouldn't use the nominative pronouns, I don't think so. Me amawisti, et te amawi. So, guys, well done there. I hope you managed to translate those sentences. And if it's a little bit much the first time, don't worry. Just go back. Pause it after each one. Take your time. Use the endings indicators on the screen. Have a practice in your own time, and then listen to my version and just check you got it right. There's no rush here. So use the video as it works for you, as it suits you. Don't feel you have to be doing everything without pausing it. By all means, pause it. Replay as many times as you need. Okay, let's just go back to amare, and let's do present versus perfect tense. Present. Amo amas amat, amamos amatis amant. Amo amas amat, amamos amatis amant. Remember, that can mean I love or I am loving. Present continuous. Right now, am ing. Just contained within one word in Latin, amo. Perfect tense. Perfect means finished, completed in Latin. Either I loved her or I have loved, answering to the present perfect in what we have available in English. Amawi, amawisti, amawit, amawimos, amawistis, amawerunt. Again, please. Amawi, amawisti, amawit, amawimos, amawistis, amawerunt. Let's do vocare, vocare. Present, to call. Voco, vocas, vocat. Vocamos, vocatis, vocant. Past. Vocavi, vocavisti, vocavit. I call, you called, he, she called. Vocavimus, vocavistis, vocaverunt. Again. Vocavi, vocavisti, vocavit. Vocavemos, we called. Vocavistis, you plural called. Vocaverunt, they called. And may I just stress, guys, this is a one-off completed action in the past. If you wanted to convey the idea of so-and-so was calling, kind of an ongoing action, or maybe even used to call as a regular thing every Saturday, used to call me, that would be a different tense. That's actually the imperfect tense. And that's something we'll look at a later point. We don't want to introduce too much at once. So this perfect, from the Latin meaning perfecere, completed, is very much just a one-off completed tense. Very much what in English you call it the past or preterite. Preterite just comes from the Latin praeteritum, which means past. It's a Latin word. It's a fancy word for past. So it's just a past tense. I did it. I saw it. I ate. I drank. Something like that. So I hope that's very clear. I hope that's been helpful. I advise you to perhaps to repeat this video and just really have a go at saying these forms out loud. And we'll practice it a little further in the next video as well. So guys, that's your first lesson on perfect tense. Congratulations on getting this far. I hope you've enjoyed it. Give me some feedback, guys. Please like this video if you think it's worth it. Please, I'm trying to get these videos out there a little bit, this beginner's course, so if you can possibly share it with others, if you think they may be interested, I would very much appreciate that. Drop me a comment, let me know where you're watching this from. I'd love to know, and subscribe if you haven't already. And for now, guys, I shall say gratias, ago maximas, thank you very much, et valete. Take care, see you in the next video.